I originally planned on giving this video the title Ways to Save Money or Ways That I Save Money, but it's not really about saving money. It's about being intentional with your money, being intentional with your income, how you spend it, and how you save it. We all have different financial situations. Some of us have families, some of us are single, we have income from a job, we have retirement savings, we have support from the government. So I don't want this video to come across in a way that these are the things that I do all the time and I'm perfect with my money, because I absolutely am not. But over the past few years, I have learned different tips and tricks to help me be more intentional so that I'm not just, saving it, I'm investing it, or the particular things that I am saving for, and I'm not just spending it, I'm spending in a way that makes sense for my lifestyle. And a little disclaimer here, I am not a financial advisor, nor am I a financial guru. This is simply for entertainment purposes only. If you find some value in this video, wonderful, that's great. Please do give it a like if you do, because it helps my channel very much. Hello everyone, welcome back. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Loretta. Let's get started on this list. So, number one is to save your extra paychecks. Now, I know that we don't really have extra paychecks, but if you get paid bi-weekly, I get my paychecks bi-weekly, which is every 2 weeks. It works out that every year in a 12-month period, I get what I call an extra paycheck. So certain months I'll get 3 paychecks instead of 2. When you get that extra paycheck, be as intentional with it as you can. Don't think, oh, I have all this extra money, I'm going to go spend it. Maybe put it into your investments. Maybe use it to bulk up your emergency savings. If you're behind on bills, use it to catch up on your bills so that you can start fresh in a way. Just find a way that works for you that you can use this extra paycheck. Maybe you need a new pair of shoes. Your shoes are falling apart and you need something that's more comfortable, or some clothes, or whatever it is. But just try to be intentional with that paycheck, and it will really, really make a difference. And since I've been doing that, I have an extra probably $2,000 a year to use as I wish. And recently what I did with my extra paycheck is I took it and just put it into my investments. So it's almost like it never happened, like I didn't get it. And I know that with compound interest, that money is just going to keep growing and growing. I don't know a lot about investments, compound interest, all that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to get into that because this is all like quite new to me. So I'm not going to talk about that stuff. And like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but do something intentional with that extra paycheck and it will really mean a lot more to you. The number 2 way that I am intentional with my money is I make a spending and a savings plan. Now, you can call this whatever you want. Some people call it a budget. I don't like using that word because it has so many negative connotations attached to it. But what you're really doing when you're making a budget is you're making a spending and savings plan. This is the money that is coming in, and this is what I'm doing with it. And when you know where each dollar is going, it makes such a huge difference. You can save for the things that you want to save for. You can bulk up your emergency savings. You can have enough money for groceries that week. Have some money left over for something else. Let's say you do need a new pair of shoes, or you need to get a new car, your car is falling apart. Then you know that every month or every week you need to save X amount of money to reach that goal, to have that down payment for a car, or to buy a car, or whatever your plan is. So make that spending and savings plan. It is very, very important. It is one of the first steps in being intentional with your money. Number 3, shop around for your insurance. So my car insurance is about $55 a month. I live in a very small town in Ontario, so it's quite cheap. I've been driving for a very long time. Sorry, I just want to apologize for the sounds in the background. That is my turtle. She's very noisy. So if you hear some clunking around, that's just her playing in her aquarium. Shop around for your insurance. As soon as mine starts to spike up, my last insurance company raised my insurance from oh gosh, I think I was at $70 a month, and then they bumped it up to $95. And I called and asked them why, and they said insurance rates went up. Well, I know, because mine went up, but why? They couldn't actually give me an answer as to why my insurance got. It's just, oh, it just went up. So call around, look for a good insurance company that it fits your needs, but just don't settle. I have absolutely no loyalty to any insurance company, including car insurance. I find the best deal for me, what works for me, and I ride with that. And number 4, also shop around for phone plans. I was with a very large company, and I was paying, my highest bill was $120 a month when I lived in the city. And I thought that I needed to pay a lot of money to have great service. I was very loyal to this company. I don't know why. I'm not loyal to any phone company anymore. And now my bill sits at $40, I think it's, no, it's not. It's $39 a month. And that is the cheapest phone bill I've ever had. I have 3 gigabytes of data. I have talk and text. I use my Wi-Fi when I'm home. And I don't really need to use any sort of data when I'm out, except if I'm driving somewhere I don't recognize and I need to use my maps. But other than that, 3 is enough for me, and I'm able to have quite a low phone bill. So shop around, see where you can go, if you can switch phone companies, and go with the cheapest plans that works best for your lifestyle. Number 5 is identifying your wants versus your needs. This one I find very important in being intentional with your money, because your needs, you have to pay for these things. So you have to pay for your housing, you have to pay for certain bills, you have to eat, you have to, if you work far from your home, or you need a car for whatever reason, you need that transportation. These are things that you need to have a good quality of life. And identifying your wants doesn't mean that you have to take all of the wants out of your spending plan, out of your budget. You don't have to do that. Just identify what you really need to pay for, and then find ways to pay for those other things. So I have a savings plan where I will calculate what I need for a certain item or event. So for instance, later on in the year, I am doing a spa weekend with my girlfriends, and the spa that we were going to is a bit pricey. It's going to take me about 5 hours to get there. So I need to save so $85 for a tank of gas there, $85 for a tank of gas back, plus of course the spa, any little extras I need. So this is going to be quite a pricey weekend. I have 9 months to save for it. I started saving already in January, so I figure out how much exactly I need to save every month, so that when it comes time for the weekend, I have that amount of money. That is not a need, that is a want. This is something that I don't need to survive. I don't need for quality of life. This is something that I want to do with my friends, who I only see a couple of times a year. And so I need to find a way in my budget to pay for that. And identifying those will really, really help you sort of hone in on what's important in your life and what those wants really are. Sometimes also, when you save for something over a long period of time and you have that chunk of money saved, you might not want that thing anymore. You might think, wow, this took me a year to save this $2,000. Do I really want to spend it on this? So then you start to really question how hard you had to work. You got to get up in the morning, you got to go to work. Nobody's going to do it for you. You're the one who has to go to work and earn that money. So is it worth it to spend that money on that thing? It's a really interesting way to look at your money and to save money, because it helps you kind of think if it really is worth it. Number 6, see if you can borrow what you need before you buy something new. So you're going to a wedding, maybe you don't go to weddings that often, or you don't have a lot of dress clothes or dress shoes. See if you can borrow something from a friend, if you're the same size shoes or the same size for a nice dress. I had this really nice clutch that I used to lend to all my friends. It was just like a simple black clutch with a like a little gold trim on it, and it was perfect for a wedding. It could fit your phone, a little bit of cash, a card, maybe a lipstick, a comb brush, whatever. And it was just like very nice, and you can tuck it under your arm, you can just hold it. And I lent it to all my friends, and we all sort of borrowed this clutch because nobody wanted to go out and spend $50 on a good one, on a good quality one. So, why not? You're just using it once, and it's sometimes not worth it to spend all that money on something that you're really not going to use that often. It could be a book, it could be whatever it is, but find out if you can borrow it. Try that instead of spending money on that item. Number 7, consider hand-me-downs. Years ago when I was moving, I asked around people that I worked with. I was very close with my coworkers, and I asked them if they knew anybody was giving away furniture, and I managed to get myself a coffee table, a bedside bed table, and a couple of other things that I would have spent money on, and I had them in my apartment for the entire time I was there. I think it was almost 5 years. So there's things that people are getting away that are just cluttering up their homes, and if you would just ask around, you might get some really, really good stuff. You might not. And also another thing, be cautious with this, because don't just take something because it's free. It has to be useful, and you have to like it. So, if you're looking for something that's white, but it's, like a wood color, and you don't like that color, then don't take it just because it's free. I don't think that we should surround ourselves with things that we don't like just because they're cheap or free. I think that we should really be intentional in that way. So see if you can grab a hand-me-down, and if somebody has some great stuff, you might find some treasures. Try it first before you buy new. This brings me to number 8, which is see if you can repair or clean something before getting rid of it. So I have quite an old washer and dryer, and both of them work perfectly, but they're a little rough around the edges, and I did a deep cleaning of both of them. Perfect. They're like almost like brand new again. So cleaning is the easy part. Sometimes repairing is really, really difficult. Like, I couldn't repair a dishwasher, any sort of appliance. It's just not in my skill set at all. But if somebody is willing to help you, or somebody that knows how to repair something can do it for you, then great. Just try fixing up what you have before you run out and buy something brand new. Number 9, ways to be intentional with your money. Host a party, or have a friend host a party, and be creative with it. When I first moved into my old apartment in the city, my friends and I did a wine and cheese night. So each friend brought cheese and a wine to go with that cheese. So we had to do a little bit of work just to see what kind of wine pairs well with this. So just hop on Google and you can do a little search and what wine goes good with the truffle cheddar, and then you'll get some suggestions. And I thought that was really fun because, number 1, each friend brought a food item, which was a cheese, and each friend brought a bottle of wine. So we had like 7 bottles of wine between us. We didn't drink all the wine, but we certainly could have. And lots of cheese, and I bought a cheese as well, and some crackers, and I had some jam and stuff to go with it. But the limit for us to spend on that night was $20. That's the limit that we put. So $20 per person and no more. If somebody wants to spend a little more, of course they could, but we were trying to have a frugal, fun night in. And it was really fun. We got to try different wines, different kinds of cheeses. It was great. So you can do this with anything. If you're not a drinker, you can do this with tea, or each person can bring a different homemade dessert or anything. Each friend could you can do something where each friend brings a different board game, and you can play that board game amongst your friends that night and see if you enjoy it and pick your favorite one. Whatever. There's many, many possibilities. Do a quick Google search. You can find so many ways to host potlucks and that sort of thing. And when you're with your friends, you're going to have just as good a time, and you don't necessarily have to spend a ton of money going out to a restaurant. Number 10, ask yourself before you buy something new, can I thrift this? I love thrift stores. I have some videos on things that I found at thrift shops. I will link them below. And I always go to a thrift store before I buy something new. Recently, I needed a cooling rack, and I found one at a thrift store for, I think it was 50 cents, maybe $1, not sure. The books, tableware, tools. Thrift stores have all kinds of stuff. Curtain hooks. I recently bought some shower curtain hooks because I wanted to sort of dress up my bathroom a little bit. And if there's something that you want or you need, make yourself a list, head over to a thrift store and see if you can buy it there. You can find such great deals there. I'm telling you, like sometimes you find such treasures and it's exactly what you needed and it's a fraction of the price. So ask yourself, can I thrift this before you buy brand new? Number 11, identify if you have a spending problem or an income problem. Years ago, I was trying so hard to work on my budget and to try to find a way to save more money, to cut costs in different areas. And the truth is that I just wasn't making enough money. And I realize that now, and one of my coworkers told me that all the time. He said, Loretta, you don't make enough money. You gotta switch jobs and you gotta go somewhere where you're making more money. I thought, no, I can do this. I don't really need to switch jobs. I did, because I am making money. I don't make a ton of money, please don't get me wrong, but I am making more money than I used to. And I just find it easier to work my spending and savings plan, to buy the things I need, buy the things that I want, that I truly want. And so maybe you need to bring in more money somehow, change jobs, find a side hustle. Just identify, do you have a spending problem or do you have an income problem? Number 12, check your local library for free or cheap activities. Recently, I went to my library to pick up a book and I saw a poster on the wall that was advertising a seed exchange. So this was before the weather got warm. We are in the middle of May now, and this was about a month ago, and it was by donation. So I donated $5 and it was at a local community center, and basically you could exchange seeds. There was resources. You can bring your seeds and leave them for people to pick up, or you can pick up seeds. So I talked to some people there and told them that this was basically my first year having a vegetable garden, and they were most helpful. And they said, well, you can just basically take any seeds that you want. And what I am actually planning on doing, so I donated the $5, and I'm going to do some research on seed collecting, because at the end of this season I want to collect seeds and give back, because so many seeds were given to me that I want to package my seeds and be able to bring them to next year's seed exchange. But it was just such a fun event. I spent $5. I got tons of resources. I got free seeds for vegetables and flowers. It was absolutely fantastic, and I barely spent any money. So your library might have some great stuff. So check that out and you might find some really, really great things to do. Also, this is not on the list, but I'm going to throw this in there. Go to a local coffee shop and grab a coffee or a tea, and go to your library, look around. You can flip through some books, read some books. It's a nice free thing to do that doesn't cost a lot of money. And you can even skip the tea and coffee and just go to your library and for free and read some books. Number 13 is make a running list of things that you need and find where you can buy them the cheapest. So go through your kitchen or your home if you need more, let's say laundry detergent or dish soap, sponges, cleaning stuff, like whatever you need, and just make a list that you keep adding to and find the best prices for these things. Don't automatically go to the place that is most convenient. Yes, you're grocery shopping and you're getting some bread and some lemons and milk, whatever it is that you buy, and you see dish soap, but it might not be the best price there. If it's on sale, then it could be, but your local dollar store might have a better price. Walmart always has great prices. Amazon might have a better price and you can order it and it's delivered to you. Don't just buy something because it's convenient for the place that you are at that point in time. Shop around, make a list, and there's certain things that are they're not a waste of money, but you need them. But think about it. Your dish soap, it goes down the drain. Your laundry detergent goes down the drain. Sponges you replace, like all of those things you're using them, but it's also money that's going down the drain. So why spend the most on these items? Spend as little as you can by still getting a good product and the product that you really need for your lifestyle. Number 14, start at the clearance and sale section when you go shopping. So let's say you're buying some new t-shirts online. Go straight to the clearance section first. Now, I do want to make a point here. Don't buy something just because it's on sale. Don't buy something, let's say you want a blue t-shirt, but only the orange ones are on sale, but you don't really like orange. Don't buy it. Don't buy something that's not your size, that's not your color, just because it's cheap. This is being intentional with your money. If you go to the clearance section and you find a blue t-shirt in your size, perfect. That's exactly what you were looking for. Go to the clearance section first. You might find exactly what you want, but don't just buy something because it's on sale. The same when you're shopping in person. Find the spot. It's usually at the very back of the store, kind of in the corner. It's, hidden away, and flip through all the clothes and see if you can find something that you love, that's your size, that's a great price before spending the full retail value. Number 15, find an inexpensive hobby that you love. Now, finding a hobby can be very tricky. You have to really, really know yourself and really know what you like. One of my hobbies, I have many hobbies. One of them is YouTube. The reason I call YouTube a hobby is because I am not monetized, but if you do click that subscribe button, that really does help me. And maybe one day I can be monetized and make videos full time. That is one of my dreams. So if you do subscribe, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. One of my other favorite hobbies is flower pressing. So I will go just outside to my garden, pick some wildflowers, or to the park. Be careful what you pick, because in your region there might be certain things that you can't pick or aren't supposed to pick. And also, you don't want to go around to people's gardens and start picking their flowers. I don't want you to do that at all. Don't loiter on and trespass on people's properties. But I like to pick some wildflowers or other flowers from my garden or wherever I find them. And I actually do have a flower press because it is a hobby of mine. I ended up buying one from Etsy 3 or 4 years ago for about $50. It's handmade. It's absolutely beautiful. But you don't have to spend $50 on a flower press, like absolutely not. You can get a book and put some wax paper in that costs $1 from the dollar store. Put some flowers in, press them for 5 weeks. I like to make wax seals out of them. This is a hobby that I really, really, truly love, and it's free. After buying the flower press, which I've had for years, so I've got my value out of it. It's a very inexpensive, basically free hobby that I absolutely love doing, and it brings me so much joy. So finding something that you really, really like that doesn't cost a lot of money has a lot of value because you're not spending a ton of money. Number 16, and I say this in all my videos and I preach this, cook at home. If you take any advice, any tips from this video, cook your own food. Getting takeout, getting fast food, it is such a waste of money. Like, first of all, it's not good for you. We all know that. But cooking at home is just, you make exactly what you want. You know exactly what's going in it. You can eat the foods that you love. You can really, really eat the foods. Find the foods that you love. If you get a lot of takeout or fast food, find the foods that you love and find a way to make them at home. And you don't have to make anything extravagant. You can make some very, very simple recipes. I have some videos on some simple things that I make. I'm going to be making more cooking videos on some very simple, like 5 ingredient, delicious meals. You can just buy some meat, buy some chicken, buy some beef, whatever meat that you eat. If you're a vegetarian, buy a bunch of veggies, make some beautiful salads. If you do eat meat, make some meat, make a side, make mashed potatoes, make some veggies, have some pasta with it. Simple. It can be very, very simple to cook at home. Once you get better at it, you can become more advanced and you can cook more things. But I know food is very, very expensive these days. Trust me, I know. Our grocery store prices in Ontario, even in rural Ontario, are like astronomical. They're absolutely crazy. But watch the sales. You can still find things that are inexpensive, and it's always going to be cheaper than eating out. So learn how to cook at home. Number 17, make a list of things that are cheap or free. So I talked about your local library and how you may find some free activities there. Make a list of all the things that you enjoy doing. Don't just do something because it's free and you hate it. That's horrible. But make a list of things that you truly enjoy doing that don't cost money. Going for a walk, visiting a friend, Zooming or FaceTiming with somebody that you're not close to and in distance. Any of those things. And when you're feeling sort of bored or a little bit anxious, or you have that itch, you want something to do, then refer to your list. I have master lists of things that I need to do around the house. So let's say there's something that I need to clean, which I do have to clean in between my windows. That's kind of a big job. If I have time where I have nothing to do or I'm feeling bored, I go to that list. Oh yeah, I'm going to clean my windows, and I'll spend half an hour doing that. An hour. You don't want to spend the whole day doing something that's, like scrubbing your windows. Like, it doesn't sound like a good time to me. But half an hour or an hour, do that thing on that list, and you've saved yourself. If you have the urge to go shopping, or you feel like you're an overspender, take something from the list that you made of free things to do and do that thing. Number 18, do you really love what you spend your money on? And really, really think about that. This point here takes a little bit of, like knowing yourself and really, really thinking about what it is that you value, you appreciate, and that you love. So let's say you go out to eat 5 or 6 times in the month. How much of that are you really, really enjoying? Yes, it's convenient. When you're getting that thing, it's great. But are you really finding value in that every single time you go out? So for instance, I go out for dinner, I would say about every 2 months. And when I go, I don't have my phone out. I'm with people that I really, really want to spend time with. I order what I really want from the menu, and it's a great experience, and I really, really enjoy it. But I used to eat out all the time, and it was just becoming like something, to do. Oh, I don't feel like cooking. Let's, go out for lunch and spend 50, 60, 70 bucks. And, do you really love doing that? And it's not just eating out. Like, take anything that you do and spend a lot of money on and just truly, truly ask yourself, do I really love what I spend my money on? This brings me to number 19, which is don't be wasteful. Being intentional with your money, being frugal means not being wasteful. And I mean being wasteful with your resources, with your food, with your money, and also with your time. Find out if you are being wasteful with your time, because being wasteful with your time or procrastinating is something it's really detrimental, I think, to our well-being, because procrastinating makes you feel bad about yourself. Wasting time makes you feel bad about yourself. I know that most people feel this way. I know when I waste time, I just feel like so blah after. And I don't mean I mean doing something that is not bringing value to your life. And everybody's life is different. Everybody has something that brings value to your life. And so maybe for me, it's not social media. Well, except for, I don't consider YouTube social media because it's a hobby for me. And YouTube is my form of entertainment. I don't have any streaming services, so I watch documentaries and different types of things. But for me, social media, as we call doom scrolling, was just becoming very toxic to me. It was something that I was spending hours a day on, getting no value out of it. So I completely got myself off of social media. But maybe for you, social media is a business tool, or it's something that you really enjoy, or you're really very active on it. And so that's not a waste of time for you. Maybe there's something else that is a waste of time for you. Maybe you work 60 hours a week and that's a waste of time for you. Maybe bring it down to 40 hours a week, or as many hours as you can bring it down to, so that you can spend your time doing the things that you really enjoy. And this brings me to my last point, number 20, which simply is consuming less. I don't know what more I can say on this, but I find for myself, when I was becoming more intentional with my money and finding ways to save and invest more, that it wasn't about switching things up. So, instead of doing this, I'm going to do this. It was simply to just consume less things. One of the things that I started doing years ago was fasting. So I don't eat breakfast. I eat around noon, and I find, I guess it would be skipping that one meal, as people call it. I don't find it skipping a meal because it's a meal that I don't have. But I physically felt 10 times better, and I still do. So I got rid of my TV years ago, so I'm not consuming as much screen time, and sometimes consuming less is just the way to go, to be more intentional with your money. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope that you found some value in it. If there's certain things that you do to be more intentional with your money, I would love to hear in the comments below. Let's get a discussion started so that maybe I can learn something from the tips that I read, and then other viewers can learn from the tips that you put there. Are there any tips that I said that you don't agree with? Are there some that you already do or that you completely agree with? Thank you so much, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Please do give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Also, please consider subscribing. It really helps my little channel grow and is greatly appreciated. Until the next one, have a